Okay, so today we have a chance to be here for the installation, and the installation, it really kind of deserves its own little video because it's such a big part of our energy efficiency in our homes. Not only do we build high quality homes, but they're highly energy efficient. And by building an energy efficient home, we're going to make a more comfortable environment for you to live, and we're going to lower your power bills significantly. There's a couple ways in which we do that. In some of the earlier videos I talked about our framing techniques. And once again, you'll see that we use a 2x6 exterior wall rather than a 2x4 exterior wall. Not only does it make your exterior wall much stronger and have a much higher shear strength, but it allows us to get more insulation into that cavity, increasing the R value and therefore decreasing your power bills. In our framing techniques, we're even going to go so far as to put what I would call an energy header up here above the window, where we create a space to let us get a little bit of extra insulation in there where otherwise you just wouldn't have any. Wherever there's a spot for us to get insulation in, we're going to do it. And the best way of achieving that was with the Spider insulation system, where this is a blown-in insulation. It gets into all the nooks and the crannies and doesn't leave any voids or any spaces, therefore increasing the overall performance of the product. Now today we're very happy to be here at the same time that the insulators are, so that we can see what they're doing and we can get a really good explanation of the process. And today I've got John with Hinges here with me. He does our installation. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Bob.
Thanks for being here. And he's going to be able to explain to us just what's going on here because he knows more about it than I do. John, tell us a little bit.
Well, today here we're with Bob, Homes by Design. We're actually insulating his home with James Spider product. With Bob building a 2x6 house, we were able to achieve a nice high R value, anywhere from a 20 to a 22 with the nozzle and the density we're blowing in. But if a customer would like, we could put a higher density nozzle and go all the way up to a 24. The great thing about Spider is it's actually a small chopped fiberglass that's blown in with a resin that's low VOC level, and also when it's blown in, it's screeded off flush with the stud face. That's actually key because when the insulation is touching, you want it to be on all 6 sides of that box. If it's not touching all 6 sides, your R value is actually diminished. Another thing that we do for Bob is we actually seal his plates with foam, and we caulk around all windows and doors. And what that does is it lowers his air exchange rate in the house. And by lowering the air exchange rate, it makes the house more energy efficient. So putting the R22 to R20 in the walls with the lower air exchange rate, it lowers down on the heating and cooling bill and the load on the home. As you can see behind me, the guys are actually going to start blowing the wall. What they do is when he's blowing it, he'll blow it into the stud cavity. And when the stud cavity is actually blown solid, the gentleman will come behind him with the screed and screed it off, flush with the stud face. If by chance when they're screeding, he accidentally nicks into the wall, what can happen is you can take loose material, actually push it back in, and screed that flush. So therefore, you achieve that full R value in that wall cavity. The other great thing is, as you can see, they have wires running across the bottom. Any electrical or plumbing that's running into that wall, they're able to shoot behind that cavity, go into that cavity behind it, and then actually fill the front side of it. So you have a continuous R value all the way around that pipe, whereas before with the bats that were used, you only were able to insulate behind it or in front of it. So that's what makes Spider insulation so great.
Let's take a second to look at this and watch what they're doing. Something else that they're doing, you'll see him behind the tub shower unit over there. We've got an ADA compliant shower. They were able to fill that entire cavity full. And it looks like he's getting ready to fire the gun up now. We'll get in here and try not to get in their way too much. Now you'll see the wall that he's covering up, you'll see cross braces in there. We actually use cross braces where our interior walls meet our exterior walls, and that allows us to get that extra insulation into that pocket right there, where if you did the traditional framing techniques, you would end up with a 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch space, the entire height of your wall with no insulation in it whatsoever. And it lets him get back into the inside of those corners as well. He's filling up right now. There just won't be any uninsulated areas in the exterior of the home. And you'll see that used in all our homes, regardless of the price point. Something else that we're going to be doing, you'll see in all of our homes that's unique to my company, is that we finish all our garages, including insulation. Now you'll see this is a different installation that's in the garage than we had in our exterior walls of our home, because you're not required to have any sort of the energy code for your garage. In fact, you're not required to insulate your garages at all. You're not required to finish them. But just because I believe this is your front door, you're going to see in all of our homes insulated pockets in the garages. Then they'll be drywalled and finished just like the inside of the home as well. But there's no point in hanging drywall if you're not going to insulate it, because you can't do it after the fact. So it's something you won't see in other homes. You will see in ours. It does have a cost factor to it, but it has a value to it as well. Between our insulated garage doors and our insulated walls, your garage just doesn't get cold. And there's an added benefit to that on your day-to-day living. We use the I-joist system in all of our homes. Exclusively, we will use 11 and 7/8 inch I-joists. And we use these in different sizes. They come in different series. It's probably 6 inches thick. So all the concrete floor is poured over a very good pad. Once this piping here has been inspected by the local plumbing inspector, and he verifies that all